So, welcome back. I'm just in my kitchen, it's dinner time, and I thought I'd record sort of what I'm cooking tonight. It's a miso soup, and it's super good. I make it with buckwheat noodles, so I just thought I'd show you kind of like how I put it together. And it's super, super easy, and Jimmy really likes it, and that just tells me that it's really good because he's a little bit picky. So, yeah, I thought I'd show you. I'm also wearing this huge scarf and a knit because it's getting cold out. It's 15 degrees, and I know that's probably warm for people living in Canada, but right now for us it's like pretty cold, and we don't have any heater in here, so just like trying to layer up and stay warm. So let's get to the video. So in the pot to start, you just want some extra virgin olive oil, about 2 cloves of garlic, and then a teaspoon of ginger, which I haven't fully got in there. It's frozen, so I'm just waiting until it defrosts a little bit, and then I'll just grate it inside. Now that the ginger is in there, I'm just gonna turn on the burner fairly low because this is actually super, super hot. So if you ever have it up to here, it's like basically you're gonna burn your pan. So I'm just gonna get that going, and then it'll just kind of fry away for about a minute once it starts heating up. And while that's happening, I'm just going to shave this carrot, which I started already. So it's starting to heat up, so I'm just gonna move it around into the oil a little bit. You don't want it to burn, so you just gotta keep an eye on it. If you are worried about it burning, then just turn the heat down a little bit. And I'm just gonna let it go for a little bit, and then I'm just gonna turn it off because I still have to finish peeling the carrots. But that's how I get a couple things done at once. So what I'm doing for this carrot is slicing it into these sort of lengthwise pieces, and I'm gonna do the whole carrot, and after that we're gonna cut these into matchsticks. What I learned from watching some cooking YouTube videos is that once you have them cut sideways, then you move them so that they're laying on top of each other. And if you press down like this, and then you cut down this way, then you get a bunch of matchsticks, and it's super easy, instead of like taking each piece and cutting them individually. So that's just a trick in case it helps you. So this is what I ended up with. They're super thin. And the reason we want them to be this thin is because after we put in the miso paste, we don't really want it to cook that long because you don't want to lose the nutrition that's in the miso paste. So by having them this thin, they'll cook really quickly, and then you can just turn it off and it'll be done. Now we're going to add 6 cups of water and then bring it to a boil. At this point, you can also add some chicken stock or like a cube in if you like. That's what I do. The recipe actually doesn't call for it, but when I made it the first time, it just tasted too miso pasty to me. Does that make sense? It has like a super earthy taste. So when you add the chicken stock, it just gives it so much more flavor. Got my cube here, just gonna add it in, and then we're just gonna turn the heat up as high as it goes, basically. And then once it comes to a boil, we're just going to throw in the carrots and the miso paste. In the meantime, I've had my tofu pressed between 2 plates with some paper towel and just something kind of heavy on top to get a lot of the liquid out, so that when you put the tofu into the soup, it actually absorbs a lot of the flavor instead of staying like tofu tasting. It's starting to boil, so it's time to put the carrots in. See if I can get them all in one hand. I have small hands. Pretty good. So once the carrots are in there, you're going to let it come up to a boil again, and then leave it to boil for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, we will turn the heat down to minimum, and then we'll add in the miso paste. And every miso paste tastes different. This is the first one I ever bought and I've just kind of stuck with it, but basically what you're looking for is a light miso, not a red miso, not like a dark miso, just a light miso. That means the flavor is not too intense. So I know this is not what you're gonna find in your market, but this is what I go for. So I'm gonna put my timer on for 2 minutes now. 2 minutes, start. While the carrots are boiling, I'm just gonna take this tofu and cut it into squares. Okay, timer's going. So let's turn this down. Then we're gonna put in 5 tablespoons of the miso paste. This is a tablespoon, but it's getting pretty old now. So 5 of these. So all the miso paste is in there, but it doesn't just dissolve. So you're gonna have to help it along a little bit by whisking it. Next, you can add a tablespoon of soy sauce. And then you can add just a little drizzle of sesame oil. And make sure you put this back into the fridge, because if you didn't know, sesame oil does go rancid and it's pretty gross. So keep it in the fridge and then you pretty much save yourself from tasting something really nasty. At this point, you can also add in your tofu. Okay, break up the tofu a little bit. And that's basically it. There aren't any more ingredients you have to add. It's up to you. Once you put this over some noodles, you can put it over ramen style noodles, or like I use buckwheat noodles because I like the texture better. I also add sesame seeds, maybe some green onion on top. Sometimes I add vegetables as well, like broccoli or, whatever you want. It's up to you. But yeah, you can turn off the heat or you can leave it on for a little bit to get maybe more flavor into the tofu. But I'll show you once I cook up the noodles what our bowls look like. So a bonus, I'm also going to make some gyoza. So that's just dumplings for those who don't know what gyoza is. If you've never made them, maybe this will help you. So I've got a pan on, basically like medium-low heat, and I'm just gonna add some sesame oil. That's probably good right there. And then just bring it up to heat. Once it's hot, I'm just gonna stick these babies in there. Okay, it's hot, so let's put them in. I cook a lot so that we can have extras for lunch as well. And Jimmy loves them too, so there you go. So just let them sizzle for a little bit here. And then we're going to pour some water inside and cover it so that it'll steam for about 3 minutes or so. So yeah, just give it like maybe a minute to fry up, and then afterwards add the water. I'd say to put in about 1/3 of a cup of water. Hey, and then you just let it steam for like 3 minutes. So once I take the lid off, I just let them fry for a little bit longer so that they can get super crispy on the bottom. Ooh. But don't let them go too long or else they'll burn. So this is the color they look like when they're done. And for dressing, I just have soy sauce and some sriracha, a little bit of sesame oil, and a little bit of powdered ginger. And yeah, that's how we like it. It's pretty good. So let's just put the soup into the bowls. So now the bowls are all done. Put some sesame seeds and some sprouts on top. And that's it. It's super simple, so I hope you give it a try.
What, man? Hungry, Jess.
I know, but do you think they're good or what?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, good. Okay, he's so desperate to eat, so let's just finish it here.